'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Young Anna was nestled, all snug in her bed, not knowing tomorrow she'd meet the undead. How would she survive what this season would bring? Well, that's simple. She'd stab, she'd slash, and she'd sing.
Here we go, another musical where you'll apparently bust out into song for no apparent reason and never question where the music is coming from. And I didn't hate it, surprisingly. So, I'm not the hugest fan when it comes to musicals. I think from the amount of Disney movies that I've seen, I like, I like what they did with, like the original Aladdin or Beauty and the Beast, or like those 2D animated musicals, because it's like, okay, it looks like I'm watching kind of like an animated music video, but the music video has a story to go along with it. So I was like, okay, I'm liking this. That's why, I also love just 2D animation. But the thing with this is that they take a genre that I don't really care for, which is the musical, and they mix it with a genre that I absolutely adore, horror, and merge it together. And somehow it wasn't garbage. So Anna and the Apocalypse, it's about, it centers around this girl named Anna. And she goes to this high school in kind of this like small little town where like kind of nothing exciting ever happens. And everyone in the school just has the urge to just bust out into song. And that's the problem I have with a lot of the musicals is, they start, you'll set up a scene and then the characters will just start talking, and it's just immediately out of nowhere they'll just start singing. But I really want to see what is happening when you're not focused on the character, and they're singing, but you also have the music in the background. I really want to see like a character that's watching all these characters, so you just see them singing but there's no music, because it's just like, what is happening? Because that's the problem I have with a lot of musicals. It's like the music's just coming out of nowhere. With this, it didn't bother me. It really didn't. And also, the thing with a lot of musicals is that your songs can either be annoying to the point where it's like an earworm, or just straight up annoying. This is neither, but more leaning towards the just earworm. Not really annoying. Because I totally went into this going like, yeah, the songs are just going to be kind of tasteless and just like, whatever. But there were some songs in this movie, and don't get me wrong, some songs are better than others. It happens. But in this, it's like, wow, that didn't really annoy me. I'm shocked. Okay, you're shocking me. But also, it's the horror edge into this, and also the comedy too. This is very much a horror comedy in a musical. So, one review said this was like Shaun of the Dead meets La La Land. And, I can see that, but I see it more as, if High School Musical was a zombie film. Except High School Musical songs are just annoying. No offense to anybody that likes it. But yeah, this didn't annoy me, which shocked me. Really generally surprised me. I was surprised on how much, I didn't hate this movie, because I went into it thinking this is going to be just tasteless. I'm not going to enjoy this. But I'm like, wow, that actually shocked me. All right, you actually, you found a musical that I didn't 100% hate. All right. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of musicals out, musical films out there that I really like Willy Wonka, or like I've said, like Aladdin, or the original Beauty and the Beast. You know, those the hand drawn Disney musicals. Those I think are great because, like I said earlier, it's like watching a music video with a story in it, and like, all right, I'm with this. And this, it's like, it's kind of like, yeah, like you're erupting into song, but then there's just zombies around you. So you just start killing them. And it's like, okay, like, all right. And I've always, this kind of reminded me, yeah, very much like Shaun of the Dead, where, but also with like Edgar Wright's stuff, is that he listens to music. And also in his movies, they'll have scenes where the music is like playing in a scene, but they'll have moments where a shot will look like it ties in with the song. So like watch like Shaun of the Dead, the whole in the bar, or Baby Driver especially, where they have moments where like certain objects are tying in with the song. And it's just like, oh, I didn't notice that. Oh, I didn't know that. But with this, it's like you're just erupting into song, and then all of a sudden a zombie shows up and you just kill it, and then just go right back into singing. The movie is a horror comedy, so, and because it's also a zombie movie, it does have its gore, which is awesome. The gore is pretty hardcore in this. And I always like me some gore. I always do. The one thing that I can think of at the moment where I'm like, you guys kind of could have been a little better on this, is some characters aren't written all the way better, or they're not really likable characters. Mostly everyone in this movie is likable, but you also have some people in there where I'm like, yeah, you're not really likable, so I don't really care about you. But there are characters in there when they get like, when they get killed off, it's like, oh, that sucks, I liked you, oh man. And then there's also some in there where I'm like, yeah, whatever. But I don't know if that was on purpose, because these are kids in high school. So, and in high school, you had your likable and unlikable people. So I really don't know if it was bad writing or if it was the choice of having the characters like that. So I'm not too sure. But you know, towards the end, it started getting like, okay, you're not really focusing on the apocalypse theme anymore. You're kind of drifting away from that. So, you still could have had the way it was, but, you know, had a little bit more of the apocalypse edge to it. Now, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of zombies in this movie. A lot of zombies, which is awesome. But, you know, it's mainly the first act is, of course, them setting up everything. And then the second act is the huge, you know, you have the first and then third act. And then in the middle of that, you have just this huge chunk of let's just survive. Let's just survive. Let's survive, kill zombies, gore, and not really annoying songs. So this took me by surprise. I think, yeah, like some of the characters I think could have been a little bit better. Towards the climax, I think it could have been a little bit better. There's characters there where I'm like, okay, I don't really think you needed to live or you needed to die, but you know, okay, I guess. So I think this, I'm kind of between average and great. Because when I think it's average, I'm thinking, yeah, but it was, the gore was really cool. And, the songs weren't annoying. Like, I wasn't annoyed. I think them having the whole horror comedy and zombies thrown into it, I think helped. But then when I think of great, I then think of like, certain characters and then story parts I think could have been a little better. So I keep flip-flopping. But I think I'm just gonna go with my gut on it and say great. This will be one where I'll rewatch it, and also share with people, because it's like High School Musical but with zombies, and it's funny, and it's not annoying. So there you go. There's your reason to see it.